Hello, hello, and hello. This is a man who rambles in his Lambo. Right here you see my two partners, the Countach VPM and the Volvo 740. Alright, if you haven't already been able to tell right now, I'm not in the best of moods, but not in the worst of moods. As of lately, there's been some things that have been kind of bothering me. And it's something I think it needs to be addressed. So it's concerning with all these recent shootouts and all the shootings done by a lot of these young people, which honestly, this needs to stop. This really needs to stop. I mean, we are seeing way too many young people flipping off the handle, getting triggered, whatever you want to call it, shooting people for no good reason. And honestly, I think before we get to gun control, we need to get to psychological control, you know? Because the thing that beats want to kill somebody is knowledge. Yes. Now you may say to myself, oh crap, it's going to be one of those you can do well, one of those self-help things that all these other YouTubers are trying to tell you and all that other stuff in between. But no, I'm not going to tell you that. What I am going to tell you is there is a way that you can become successful. Before I begin, let me tell you about these cars and why they mean so much to me. This is my 1988 Volvo 740. This car's been in my life for well over 20 years. The Volvo 740 is important to me because it's a resemblance of me as a person. It really reflects off me. The Volvo is a very high endurance car. It's been in a car accident where I actually rear-ended somebody because I was so depressed when somebody I fell in love with died. And because of that, I was out of it. And that's how I ended up crashing, you know? I, at one point, was almost like all the shooters. Lonely, ostracized, isolated, different, and I still am. Socially awkward, just the type of person who really doesn't get along with everybody. I did have that feeling I wanted to come back and lash out at everybody, starting from family all the way down to people who don't even know me. Why? Because I felt like I had no escapism. I had nothing to, I don't know, turn back to. I've had a feeling that I couldn't do anything, a sense of weakness. Long time ago when I was younger, I used to be a type of person who cried a lot. I used to have emotional breakdowns. I used to get teary. I used to be the type of person who was extremely sensitive. That's changed a lot. I'm not as sensitive as I used to be. As a matter of fact, at times I come across as being somewhat callous and somewhat cold. And it's not because I want to be that. It's just that that's just the way life has pushed me to become that person. And the reason why this Volvo 740 means so much to me is because it has that endurance. Volvos, especially in the 1988, were really built very high quality. This car has, as I said, been in our life for 20 years. This car has been around longer than some other cars my family have owned beforehand. And this is the first car I learned how to drive. And this is the first car I had an accident and it's still rolling. I mean, that's what Volvo means. It means I'm still rolling, which makes it a very, very great car. You know what? I'm the type of guy who still thinks cars have faces. Yeah, I may be somewhere in my 30s. Actually, I'm 35, just to let you know. But I'm the type of guy who still thinks cars have faces, you know? And look at the Volvo. It has a very regal, I will not lose, kind of semi-serious, kind of cocky look. It's very masculine indeed, and which really gives the Volvo a very strong appeal, and it makes it feel like this is a reliable car, like a car that won't give in on you, a car that won't give up. Okay, so what if it's boxy? So what? Does everything need to look like a supermodel? No. Sometimes you need a masculine look to make you realize how much of a male you are, which to me is important. So, before I move on to the Volvo's partner to my left, what does a Volvo mean to me? The Volvo to me resembles, well, not resembles. To the Volvo, to me, it symbolizes my endurance. My ability to take a lot of hits, which life has given me a lot of hits. Life has really punched me in the face, kicked me in the nuts, slapped me in the face, and spit me in the eye. And to some extent, it still does. But like this Volvo here, I can take it. I can take a hit and I just keep on ticking. Like the old saying goes, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
And because of that, that's why this Volvo means so much to me. The Volvo really is a symbol of safety, still rolling, still hanging in there, even after 20 years. And here's something interesting. A lot of car mechanics have deemed the Volvo dead. They think the Volvo is already a dead car because it's just not reliable. But it is. It's highly reliable. As a matter of fact, I will go so far to say that this Volvo is more reliable than some people I know in my life. And that says a lot. That's kind of sad that a machine has higher value and more reliability than some human beings in my life. And the Volvo is only eclipsed by this guy over here. And honestly, he's not really eclipsed by this guy. He goes hand in hand. While the Volvo right here is the car of endurance and stability, this bad boy over here more symbolizes the dream turned into reality. It's the thing that crosses between dream and reality. Let me get more into detail about him.
Here's another full body shot of the Volvo, 1988 740. We got him in 1988 740. He's not the turbo edition. I wish he was, but nonetheless, this is a excellent endurance car. It makes a great daily driver, and it's actually pretty impressive even as a sports car because it has superb handling around corners, and it's really surprisingly a magnificent car because it just is. And like I said, it's not a pretty car that you want to take your relatively snotty friends and your somewhat high prestigious family. It's a car that's really meant for a simplistic person who wants a car that gets the job done and you can count on it, you know, like a good reliable friend who's been by your side for the longest time. And that's what you really need in life sometimes. Somebody who doesn't give in, somebody who doesn't break down, somebody who just hang in there, you know? And that's why Volvo has earned the title one of the safest cars, and that's why I say Volvos keep on rolling.
All right, let's get this out of the way first. This is not a Lamborghini built Countach. It is a replica. It is a one-of-a-kind replica. Why do I want to settle with a replica whereas I could one day get a Lamborghini built one? Because I don't want one. I want to be different. I have figured to myself that I will never be able to quote unquote fit the mold like everybody else. So if you cannot fit the mold like everybody else, you might as well have fun being yourself. You know, you might as well stand out. I saw the Lamborghini built one. I could have almost bought it, but I don't want to. I want to be the person who stands out on his own. And that's my advice to people who feel like I need to fit in. I need to be like everybody else. No, you don't. You don't have to be like everybody else. You don't have to be this YouTuber who's always smiling and grinning and make everybody believe that his life is so great. You gotta understand that some of that stuff is fake. Some of that stuff is not real. Some of these people act very superficial. Now you may say to yourself, ha, look who's talking. You own a Lamborghini Countach kit car. That's a fake Lamborghini. It may be fake in the eyes of everybody else, but the question is, do you want to answer to everybody else? Because that's the thing. When you try to answer to everybody else and you don't live up to the standards, you get pissed. When you get pissed, you do crazy things. When you do crazy things, you're gonna go shoot somebody. When you go shoot somebody, you're either going to jail or you're going straight to hell. And all that because somebody said something to you because you can't fit in.
So why is the Countach so important to me? The reason being is I've been after this bad boy for 20 years. I saw this bad boy in this fella right here. Yeah. I saw my dream car in the most enduring car in my life. These two have been in my life for so long, I cannot even begin to go into excessive details. These two guys have been in my life longer than most human beings, which in my opinion is kind of pitiful, kind of sad. So why is it that it's like that? I don't know. I really don't know. You see, I have a case of ADD and autism. So why is that a problem? Well, with ADD and autism, it makes it hard for you to pick up social skills, which makes it hard for me to communicate my thoughts and feelings with people on a personal scale. Now, on a career lifestyle, my career life is actually being quite prosperous.
I am now shaking hands with Adler and Associations Entertainment. I'm gonna say that again. I'm shaking hands with Adler's and Association Entertainment. If you don't know what that is, let me explain it. That is a major distribution house and publishing house out in California, right next door to Warner Brothers. In other words, Veon Prism Media Studio, my studio, is finally shaking hands with Hollywood. Why is that a big deal? It's a big deal because for a person who's been under a lot of persecution, been under a lot of ridicule, under a lot of mockery, and people doubting you, coming from family, yes, I'm gonna say family, coming from friends, and coming from other people, the fact that you can actually shake hands with Hollywood, that Hollywood acknowledges your independent film that most people snicker and laugh at, says you've overcome all that ridicule. You know, you could go grab a Magnum or a M16 or any kind of gun and go back and shoot all the people who made fun of you and ridiculed you. But you know what? If you do that, you lost. Yeah, you lost. They may be laying in their own pool of blood, but however, they've won because they push you to doing something that you normally wouldn't have done, and you're now either going to hell or you're going straight to jail. So I want to encourage you to be a winner and earn that chicken dinner as opposed to being a loser who ends up being just a boozer. Let me tell you how. Look, I know this is going to sound cliche as heck, but it's all about having a dream, sticking to a dream, and realizing that knowledge is power. All those guys who went on those shooting sprees, one thing you've got to give them credit for is they must have really thought it through to be able to commit such horrible acts of murder. Honestly, they can use that same brain cells, that same brain energy, that smarts to be able to start something, start a business, know how to help other people. Because if you do that, then everything you did can actually make you money. I mean, it's proven fact. The best revenge is success. Success has always been the best revenge. Success gives you this bad boy. This bad boy symbolizes success and prosperity. Winners and successful people drive Countaches, Ferraris, whatever your fancy is. This is a car that's designed for people who can overcome their problems. Even Ferruccio Lamborghini, the person who started the whole Lamborghini thing, who wanted to defeat Ferrari, that's the way he thought. He thought of himself as a winner. He thought of himself as a person who can do things. The reason why I'm the person I am now is I have a strong willpower. I see myself as a winner. I see myself as a person who can overcome a lot of things. I had to deal with my autism. I had to deal with my ADD. I even had to deal with times where I get bad, horrible vertical attacks. If you don't know what vertical attacks are, look it up on Google. It's like when the world is spinning around you and it's quite painful. But in spite of all that, I refuse to let myself be defeated by such feelings. That's why I drive this car. This car to me is a symbol of success and prosperity and the fact you've overcome what you've done. Now somebody said, well, it's a kid car. It's not the same. That's beyond the point. The point is, this is a car for a person who's done the impossible. If you can own a Countach, and that means anything else in your life, you can do the same thing. Like, compared to everything else I've been doing, a man who rambles in his Lambo, I'm not always going to be here trying to be funny, trying to be entertaining. I'm going to tell you some for real stuff. I'm going to teach you some things here and there along the way, because that's the whole part of me rambling in the Lambo. This is not necessarily a car channel, though this is a Countach and a Volvo, and there can be some other cars on this channel too, but it's a man telling some things about himself and trying to help other people get to where they want to be in life. Why am I doing this? Because I'm sick. I'm sick and tired of seeing all this murder, all these people harming themselves just because they can't fit in. I can easily associate myself with those guys than the people who are the victims, and I feel sorry for them too. I feel sorry for everybody. You know, all this could be avoided if we just take the time to get to know people a little bit better. Like I said, this isn't the most pleasant a man rambles in his Lambo. And I'm sorry. I really am. I'm sorry I have to say all this stuff, but I feel like it's something that I need to say this. I feel like something that this is what God has put in my heart to get this out here, you know? And to tell you about myself, as I said before, I am an independent filmmaker
who's trying to get funding so he can be able to produce more films, and films that have deep psychological, spiritual messages. I'm thinking to myself, if possible, maybe, just maybe, somebody can look at my movie and associate themselves with those characters. And they can say, you know what? That could be me. That could happen. That's why That One Amazing Movie is so important. You really, really, really need to go see That One Amazing Movie. It's probably one of the best movies you've ever seen. The Countach is in the movie, VR is in the movie, it's funny as hell, it's a good laugh movie. On top of that, at the end of the day, it can have some powerful messages that if you think about it and pay heed to it, you can really realize that life is not as hard as we make it sound like. You know, maybe there is hope, because it's all about that. It's all about having a dream, keeping your hope, and sticking to it. It's a difficult road. I'm not gonna lie. It's going to be a damn tough journey. However, if you survive, you will end up with something like this or better. A Bugatti Chiron, a Koenigsegg Regera, Lamborghini Veneno, Apollo Intensa Emotiona. All those came because people had dreams. And this is the original dream car. This is the original poster car that even to this day, nobody still quite challenges its status. The Countach is the symbol of success. So, with all that said and done, what's my final words? Never give up the dream. Never give in. Don't be a loser who's gonna end up being a boozer. Be a winner who's earned his chicken dinner, or beef, or steak, or whatever you want. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna get one of these dream cars. Well, more like a dream car like the Countach. The Volvo is a dream car only to me personally, so yeah. So yeah, check out That One Amazing Movie on Amazon and Amazon Prime. Please do check out Atlas and Association. And in addition, please check out my page, A Man Who Rambles in a Lambo. And just overall, you know, be happy. Try to enjoy life. Life is difficult for all of us, but life doesn't have to get the best of us. Try to understand each other, you know? Try to, understand how people think. Don't judge. Don't be quick to judge. Don't be quick to condemn. Learn how to accept each other's differences. Well, this is a man who rambles in his Lambo. This is Amari 16-bit Emery, signing off. See ya. Alright, as I said before, here's a studio that I work with. These are our publishers, Atlas and Associations. A special shout out to Maria Atler. Thank you for this opportunity, as it's much appreciated. You'll be seeing That One Amazing Movie coming under their name. I mean, this is exciting. This is really exciting. However, at the same token, this is a monumental moment for me because I waited almost half my life for this opportunity to come as a filmmaker and overall just as a person. So, like I said, on this channel, I'm not going to BS you guys, all right? I'm going to tell you guys as it is. This is the studio that we're going to work with. And we're going to be seeing That One Amazing Movie appear on it as well. And in a few minutes, I'm going to show you where you can find our product, That One Amazing Movie. Let's see, Wells Fargo's. I got to get back to those guys eventually. Partners, we got Film Financing, Bridge, Gate Pictures. And this is what I do. I do networking, trying to find the right people to help us out. Because right now we're looking for financial support to help us with our next big project coming up soon. That will be Sass Girls X, the motion pictures, which is based off Sass Girls X. And here we are. We got That One Amazing Movie produced by and directed by Mari Stevenson. That's me. This is where you can find my website. This is where you can find it. And this is the product to look for. It appeared at An Amazement. And you can find it on Amazon. So check it out. It's a good movie. You're going to have a good time. In fact, it's one of the most unique movies out there. You're going to get a good laugh. Everything's going to be cool, Hey, y'all. This is my studio, Veon Prism Media Studios. You can find it on Facebook. This is our Facebook page. So far, this is our only website page. So, yeah, this is my studio, and this is what I do for a living. So, honestly, anybody who has goals and ambition, don't give up. That's my best advice to you. If you want to be successful, go for it. put your whole heart and your whole mind into it. You gotta let this be more important than reality itself.